spread love. It's the Brooklyn way, no change. VSG journey, let me share my truth. With wisdom and grace, I'm bringing the proof. Beauty, health, got that RM view. Unbox review.
Well, hey guys, what's up? It's me, your girl Brooklyn Stace, and I know I haven't posted a video in a while, but I am back. You know, life is lifing, right? And I have to give you guys an update, so stay tuned for that. But nevertheless, today I am going to be making some pan pizza in a cast iron skillet, right? So what I'm going to be doing, let me get right down to it and show you the ingredients. I have some sweet Italian ground sausage. I didn't want the hot one. I do have some sliced pepperoni. I was going to use my turkey pepperoni, but I was like, nope, let me get some sliced pepperoni. Of course, you know, I have the mozzarella cheese. Now, I didn't grate the mozzarella. I do have some, but I wanted to just go ahead and just use the quick and easy way. And I don't have the grated Parmesan, so I'm using this grated Parmesan instead of the Parmigiano Reggiano, or however you guys said it. I'm not Italian, but I play one on TV. No, I don't even play one on TV. Oregano leaves. I was going to use my, you know, Simply Organic, my herbs de Provence. You know, I use this in everything, but not today. And I do have my cute little container. I'll try to link that because this is so cute. And my red onion, green pepper, and of course some pizza sauce. Now I just went to the store and I had this in the cabinet, so I'm using this. I was going to get some, you know, Italian fancy schmancy, but nope, I'm using Great Value pizza sauce. So let's get to it. I'm going to chop up my green pepper and my onions. You guys don't need to see me do that. And I'm also going to get this in a pan, so I will be back once this is ready and this is all chopped up to make this video a little bit shorter. Okay, so I'll be back. All right, and so I'm back, and so I have, as you see, browned up the sausage crumbles, the Italian sausages. Smells good. And I've also cut up my green peppers and my red onions. Now, I'm only making a small one. I only use half of the package that you saw me. So that was a pound, and I only use half of a pound because I'm not making a large pizza because it's just, you know, I'm going to be the only one eating it. And so I wanted to make something small. But before I go ahead and do this, I wanted to tell you that the oven over here is preheating up to 400 degrees. So I'm going to move this to the side, and then we're going to get our pan. So guys, I didn't say this. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe, because you know what? This will help the channel out. Got a little piece of the cloth that I was wiping this out with. This will definitely help the channel to grow. So make sure you do make a comment. Have you ever made pan pizza before? I want to know. I want to know what your special recipe is. This is not my first time making a pizza, but it's my first time using a cast iron skillet. So I'm super excited, and I wanted to do it with you first time, right? So make sure you give me a comment. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you've tried it, or are you going to try it? All right. So let's go ahead. And we're going to get some olive oil, and we're going to put this in the pan, in the skillet here. Now, it looks like a lot, but, you know, believe you me, you don't want it to stick. So I want to spread it all the way throughout. And you see little bits there that actually is just flavor because I did cook the sausage. I cooked the sausage in there as well. So you want to make sure you spread the oil all the way up to the top, and you want to make certain that it does not stick. So that is the reason, but it's olive oil, so this is healthy, and it's just going to help it to, like I said, not stick. All right. So next up is the store-bought dough, and this has been out room temperature, so you know it's already pre-risen. He has risen. So we're just going to take it out. And we can actually, on one side of it, take this and the remaining oil, just brush it on. In fact, we could take some of the oil out of here. And this is already, it already has some oil on it, believe it or not. So we're just going to leave that on the top. And I was wondering if I was going to use all of it because I don't want a thick pizza. But it looks like this will be good enough for this size pan. And we're just going to spread it out this way. And see, good thing we have all the oil on my hands and on the top, because that only helps it. And just spread it out, and then begin to, once it's spread out the way you want it, so it'll cover the pan, you just want to pat it to the sides. And then once we get that, then we'll move on to our next step. This feels good. This is like playing in Play-Doh. So yeah, I want to know, have you guys ever made pizza? I want to know. And also I want to know where you are watching me from. So please drop it in the comments, you know, what city, what state, what country are you watching me from? You know, again, I always like to know because I'm always interested in knowing who's watching me and where you are from. All right, guys, and that should be good enough. That should be good enough. Let's spread this out just a little bit more because I want it to be spread out all evenly here as much as we can. And I don't want it to be separating from the pan. So I kind of want to stretch it as much as I can. That looks pretty good. What do you think? Yeah, that looks pretty even. All right. So now it's time for our next step. And that is to go ahead and get the sauce on there. So again, I was going to use the fancy foo-foo shmoo pizza sauce, but no, I had this in the cabinet and I said, let me just use this. I was going to use regular tomato sauce, but I think the next time that I make this, I'm going to get the fancy schmancy pizza sauce. So I'm just going to cover it like so. You can put on as much as you like. I like this amount of pizza, a sauce. I like a saucy pizza. But some people don't like a lot of sauce, but I do. So you do yours just like you like it, okay? All right, so that's that. And the next thing we have, let me just clean up here. Grandma always said, clean as you go, clean as you go. And so the next thing we have is, if I had the Romano, I would put that on there, but I just have this grated Parmesan. So I'm going to sprinkle some of that on there because I don't have the Romano, or what is it, the Pecorino Romano. I'll put it on the screen because I'm sure I butchered that. I think it's Pecorino Romano. And have that on there. Next thing I'm going to do is put some oregano. Just sprinkle some oregano. I usually would put the oregano on after, the oregano and extra garlic powder on after it comes out, right? And now we're going to do the cheese. Now, I did not grate my own cheese. I would, I guess, for a better effect, you would. But I did have just a little bit of this mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, but it's not going to be enough. So I'm just using the grated mozzarella. And we're going to make a cheesy pizza because this is going to add to the crust as well. So let's go ahead and make that cheesy. We put it all the way to the edge, almost like an extra cheese pizza. And I think that'll be good enough. We want it cheesy, but not too overly cheesy, right? It's already enough cheese. But then again, if you're a cheese lover and a pizza lover, you could never have enough cheese, right? It's always good to get that extra cheese. All right, so that's that. All of the corners, well, it's not corners because it's not square, but all of the edges are covered in the cheese. And so now, next up, we're going to put the grated, let me clean my hands. We're going to put the sausage. So let's put the sausage, or you could put the pepperonis on first and then the sausage. Which is it, the chicken or the egg, right? So I'm just going to put the, actually, I'm going to put the pepperoni on first, and then I'm going to put the sausage. Is that the correct way? I don't know. You guys tell me. There's more than one way to skin a cat. You know that? So something tells me to put half of it with the pepperoni on first. I'm just going to do that. No, actually I'm not. I don't want to mess things up. Hopefully I didn't mess things up by putting this on first. I don't really think it matters, but actually I wouldn't want the pepperoni to crisp up too much, so the sausage can cover that. But hey, I'm not an Italian girl. I'm not a pizza girl. I'm a home chef. I'm not a professional chef. So is there a particular way to put this on? Maybe, maybe not. Again, you do things your way. I do things my way. I'm not trying to win an award here. I'm just trying to make a good old pizza. And this will be good frozen because now I can make my own frozen pizza. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to eat all of this. That's for sure. So I will just be making my own pizza and separating it and freezing it. And then I can freeze it and slice it and just pull it out of the freezer as I need it. But, you know, if I had a whole bunch of people in the house, then this would last just a day, right? So what I'm going to do is now add the sausage, the Italian sausage. I think I should have put that on first. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. Did I mess up? You know, all you pizza makers, I think you put the sausage on first. But, you know, I'm doing it this way. It's going to cook up and bake up just fine. But, you know, the pepperoni could have weighted down the loose sausage that may fall off. So, yeah, probably put the sausage on first. But then, if I put the sausage on first, then the pepperoni will be laying all kinds of funny ways, right? I think that's good enough in terms of the sausage. This is definitely a meat lovers, right? And I'm going to pop a little piece in for the chef, for me. I'm going to eat that. One piece? There you are. Have some. All right. So next up are the onions and the peppers. In no particular order. We just randomly place them on here. And this is going to be so good, guys. So I want to know something else. You know, I don't want to turn this into a cooking channel, but the reason why I'm doing this, guys, is just to show you post my VSG weight loss surgery that some of you guys, majority of you guys are following me for. You know, you'll see how it is that I eat regular things. And I don't always do keto. I don't always do low carbs, obviously, if I'm eating pizza dough. But, you know, it's a balance because I've probably burned about 2,000 calories today. And I'm going to have to take you in the pool with me so you could see what it is I do. You know, my tracker, I love wearing this tracker. And if you don't have one, get it. If I could find this particular one, I'll leave that in the comments. Excuse me, in the show notes, in the video description. So you can see the one that I use, but they all work the same. So you can get any kind of tracker. I'm not sponsored by anybody. So, you know, you can get the famous one or that everybody knows or not. But it's good because it's good to see what you do, how much you walk, and excuse me, how many calories that you've burned. And so it's kind of good to see. So you can track you know what you're eating. You can do so many things with a tracker. And so when I saw that, oh my gosh, I burned all of these calories, so certainly I could have some carbs because I burned off a lot, right? So guys, that's it. I could put an extra little sprinkle, which I just may do. I don't know. I'm feeling great. How about you? So I'm going to put, if I can open this now with the oil in my hands. I almost don't want to do that. You know, because I don't want to put too much cheese. And then when you put it in the oven, you know, the cheese will brown. So how about this? I'll just put just that much because I don't know how it's going to come out. So the oven was heating, like I said, to 400 degrees. I'm going to put it on the bottom rack. And what I'm actually going to do is just put this on the bottom rack for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to check it. And if I'm worried about how it's going to look on the underside because I want it to be toasty, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. All right, so in the oven this goes. But check this out. Look at that. See, you guys can make your own pizza. All right, see you in about about 20 minutes. Guys, I am back and the moment of truth is here. I'm going to take this out of the oven and show you what I got. And this is super hot. Look at that. I left it in for just a little bit over 20 minutes, like 22, 23 minutes. Because I put a little bit of extra layer of cheese. I don't know if you guys can see that. But I put a little extra layer of cheese over there. So yeah, let me turn this light up. There we are. And so you could see it's a little bit more caramelized and more crispy, which is all right with me. So this is how it came out. You can hear that sizzle for shizzle. And this is super hot. So I'm gonna let this cool for another a little bit over 5 minutes before I cut it. And then we're gonna come back with the next step. So I'll see you in about 5 to 8 minutes. And before I do that, I'm going to loosen it up. Now, I always have either my mom or my grandma, you know, the ancestors are always with me. And this is my mother's. You may see me talk about this previously. This is from Farberware. Drop it in the comments if you still have any Farberware or if your parents, grandparents have it. But this is a cheese cutter actually, and this is the cut. This is to slice like pies, and this is to serve. So it's not really a cheese cutter, it's just a cutter. So it's multi-purpose, but they don't even make, that's the signal that it's old school when you see that handle. A lot of seasonings in that handle, you know, and this is stainless steel from Japan. I don't know if you could see that, but it says stainless steel from Japan. Can you guys see that? I know the light is getting in the way, but that's what it says. Oh, it's picking up the pizza. Focus, stainless steel from Japan. Right? And so then I also have this. I wanted to show you this spatula, and you could recognize this pattern. You know, that's very old school. They don't even make this anymore. And this spatula has flipped many of eggs and chicken and just everything, pork chops and everything that you can fry up in a pan, right? But then I also have this regular pizza cutter, but I don't know if I'm going to use this because this is a smaller one. I didn't buy the larger one. So what I'll be doing is using this pizza cutter and use this knife. And I've put this in the comments in the description, the video description before, and it comes with this cute little stand, and you just put the blade in there and you just leave it standing up. And I love it, and this is really sharp, and you've seen me use this when I chop up my pecans and stuff when I make my granola, but that's another video. So this is cooling. I'm gonna let this sit right here. It stopped the sizzle, so you don't hear it anymore. So the sizzling has stopped, so now it's on the cool down, and I'll come back in another 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're gonna cut it and get it out of this pan. All right? And while we're waiting, make sure you do what? Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you like, and if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the channel, all right? But I'll see you back when this cools off. All right, guys, so we are back. This has cooled down. It's still kind of hot, but I want to show you what I'm going to use this for, and that is, let me get the pot holder because this is hot. And just take it and run it against there, the edges, just to make sure you free up the crust so that it won't stick. All right, and I think that should be good enough. Seems like it would slide right on out. Oops, it started tearing. So what I'm going to do is get my spatula next. My mom's spatula, and I'm going to transfer it to the cutting board, to the larger cutting board over here. Let's see how well this works. So if I was concerned about the underside of it not being crispy enough or done enough, I would put it on the burner, the stove burner, and leave it on there for about 3 minutes on medium, just so it can brown up. But from the looks of it, it is browned up really good. I wish I could show you the underside of it, but the angle from the camera won't allow me to. So let's go ahead and lift this out. See, it lifts up really good. Let me see. Hold on a second. So here it is close up. I just kind of wanted to give you a peek underside, the underside of it. See that? Look how good that is. See how brown that is? So it browned up really good. But if it was something that I, was concerned about, that's what I said, I would leave it in the oven on top of the burner for about 3 minutes. So I just wanted to show you that close up. Look at that. That is really, really good. It smells just like regular pizza from the pizza shop, from the one that, not the, what do I want to say? What does it start with? But you know, the red and white one. The Hut, guys. That's what this looks like. A pan pizza from them. All right, hold on a second. All right, so I'm just going to transfer this. Ooh, I almost forgot. This pan is still hot. Transfer this right out. See how easy it slides out? See that? So that's why you want that amount of olive oil in it. Now check that out. Check that out, guys. That looks so good. Look at that pizza. Look at that pizza. And just to show you from the side, I don't want it to slide out, but if you can see from the side, I don't know that you can. I should have gave you a different camera angle. Sorry about that. There we are. I could turn it to the side and you could see the sides of it. It's nice and toasty. I said nice and toasty. Did you catch that? Blooper. I'm not editing that out. But yeah, that's it. It's really crispy. I'll show you once I cut it. So now it's time to cut it. You need to cut it. Who knows that? But I would use this, but I think I'm going to use that only because I can try. If this doesn't work, I'll use that. But I like this because it's just easier. You know, you just take it and go right down and rock it back and forth. And this is a pizza cutter, so it's, you know, it's easier than the other. I'm just going to cut a little slice. I don't think I'm going to be able to eat all of this because of the bread, you know, but I'm just going to cut a slice so you guys can see it. Let's go ahead and get a piece of that out. Oops, didn't cut it good enough. And it's cooled down for more than 10 minutes, so I don't know how much of a cheese pull it's going to have, but we'll see. And if it doesn't, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, it's not even super hot anymore. So let's go ahead and get that server out. I had it, I was using the wrong thing. I was using a spatula, that's why I couldn't get it out. And let's put it on the plate. And there it is, guys. Your pan pizza. So I just want to show you that on the side there and how it looks. And it's nice and crispy. Let me see. Hear that? So the crust is nice and crispy. And it's time to eat. So this is going to be my slice. Again, I probably won't be able to eat it all. And if you didn't want a crust that thick, you can always slice it in half and make a thin crust. So that's something else that I have to consider as well for next time. But let me just show you the way it looks on the inside, the cross section, if you will, as you could see. And I'm going to take it off the tripod here. Hold on a second. There we are. So that's a better view. See how thick that is? You may not want all of that. So if that's the case, just cut the dough ball in half and spread it super thin. But if you like a thick crust, then there it is. Look at that. And just to show you, see on the sides how crispy it is. And I am going to eat. So I'm going to cut this up and, you know, put it in individual slices, maybe put 2 slices to 1, and then I'll take it out as I want it. So I'm going to have my own frozen pizza. Put whatever toppings you want on it. Put as much as you want or as little as you want. You make it your own. All right, guys. Oh my goodness, guys. I took the first bite without you. So sorry. But when I say this is really, really good, that's an understatement. This is my first time making a pizza, you know, with this dough and in a skillet. I've made it before, but just not in a skillet. When I say there's no need to buy a pizza, make it yourself. You saw how easy this is. Look at that. This tastes absolutely delicious. Gotta take another bite. I know it's not a mukbang. But guys, do this, okay? Make yourself this pan pizza. When I say it tastes just like it's from the pizza parlor, and I didn't even sprinkle any extra garlic on it. Normally, I would do that. So what I'm going to do is just take some garlic and just sprinkle it on there. Because, you know, in the pizza parlor, we take the garlic and the extra oregano and the crushed red pepper. That's what I need. Hold on. Gotta have the crushed red pepper to make it official. An official tissue, as we used to say back in the day. Ooh, that's a lot, but that's okay. I'm going to deal with it. Actually, I'm probably going to scoop some of it off because I really don't like a lot of heat. So yeah, I scooped some of it off. So I put some extra, not extra, but I put some garlic. The oregano is already on there and it tastes, I can taste that. But if you want to put some more oregano on it, you could. And I've got the crushed red pepper and the garlic, and that's going to make it even more. So, this is what I've done to cut it up, just to show you. This is the underside, but see how I wrapped it up? And I just cut it up into various random slices. I didn't make it pretty because, again, it's for me. So just took some plastic wrap, and just randomly put the slices in there. And if I would have cut it better, only because it's on camera, does it give me a problem, right? Why is that? Why is that? But yeah, just, you know, randomly, I'm just going to put one of these in because this is a pretty large one. And I could probably, you know, make that too because this bread was pretty filling. So yeah, next time I will be cutting the dough in half. If I'm making it for myself, and I probably will be also putting a little bit more sauce, only because that's how I like it. I like mine with more sauce. I can taste the sauce, of course. I can see the sauce, of course, but I like mine with, you know, just a little bit more sauce. All right, so I just wanted to show you how I'm, you know, separating this and wrapping it up. Now, I probably, since I made this a super small slice because I cut it not on a perfect angle, I probably will put all three of these in because I can eat that in one meal and then the second meal, you know, next day and the next day. So, you know, I'll have pizza for about 3 days. And, you know, I'm not going to eat pizza 3 days in a row, but, you know, I can have pizza 3 times. All right. So I just wanted to show you, come back and show you how I portioned it up and how I plan to put it in the freezer and therefore just take it out as I want it. You know, take it out as needed. As we say in the medical field, PRN, as needed. All right. And that's it. So I don't need to label it because we can see that it's pizza. And I just wanted to put it so it wouldn't get that freezer taste sometimes that it sometimes can get, because I don't know how long I'm going to have this in the freezer. You know, I'm not going to eat this right up. So there it is. And there is my frozen pizza. So that's it. That's all, guys. You saw me make pizza from start to finish. You can do it too. And so with that, I want to say thanks so much for watching. Once again, take care and be well. Bye-bye.
Let's go.